Hey, what's up everyone? It's Matty D with collegebasketballytest.com, and I am updating my top futures underdogs to win a title for March Madness 2025. Let's start with the first team that I have been mentioning all year long, and that's Texas A&M. The Aggies returning a large majority of their roster from last year. This is a team that, if you remember, battled Houston in the 2024 March Madness, going into overtime, and probably one of the best games of the entire tournament, and really gave Houston, which was a 1 seed, a run for their money. They return about 81%, I believe it is, of their scoring from last year. This is a team with Coach Buzz Williams that goes really deep. They play 9 or 10 guys. Oftentimes, if they have a 9 or 10 man rotation, it won't be out of the ordinary to see everyone get 10 or more minutes.
This is an already very special year for Texas A&M basketball. For the first time in their more than 100-year history, they knocked off an overall number 1 seed. Their March 4th win at home against Auburn not only solidifies the Aggies' tournament berth, but it probably notches them as a 3, 4, or 5 seed.
They are really deep. They play great defense. They're connected. This is the type of team that I really look for in March Madness, with the experience, the continuity, the depth, great coaching, and great players. Manny Obaseki is one of my favorite players on this team. He is a point guard who can take it down low, really post up. He is just very versatile. But with this team, it's really not about any one individual player. So I love Texas A&M. They started the season around 80-1 to win it all, and consistently in the top 25. For example, they battled Tennessee in late February in a 6-7 overall ranked matchup. So this team started at about 80-1 to begin the year to win it all. They've worked their way up. Now they're probably oscillating somewhere between the 30-1 to 50-1 territory, and I think anywhere around 40-1 is a great value for this team. Just a friendly little tip, friendly little reminder, if you are shopping for futures values out there, keep in mind that you might see a little discrepancy between the number for winning a championship as compared to winning a Final Four. So for example, the next team that I'm going to mention is BYU. I saw this team kick Kansas's ass in late February, and that really kind of piqued my interest. And then they went into Arizona and won a game. And this team plays a pro-style, NBA-style offense with Coach Kevin Young. He's in his first year, but he's coming over from the Phoenix Suns and other NBA experience. And you can tell with the way they play ball, they shoot a lot of threes. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the entire nation. They're top 10 in three-pointers made. Their three-point percentage might be somewhere around 37%, which is not top 10, but they get the volume of three-point shots. And they're really deep. They have some names that you might remember from past rosters, but this is a completely different team than the team that lost as a 6 seed against Duquesne in last year's 2024 March Madness.
BYU just recently won one of college basketball's best regular season games of the year. Despite squandering a huge lead to Iowa State in their house, they stayed tough and won a double overtime game against the Cyclones. Add that recent road victory to another against Arizona and a home undressing of the Kansas Jayhawks, and this Cougars team is an absolute lock for the NCAA tournament.
So BYU's really got a lot of momentum going on right now. In mid to late February, they were predicted somewhere as like a 10 seed in the tournament, but they're going to end up being a lot better than that when it's all said and done. So I love this team at around 100-1, 80-1 to win it all. But in late February, I think it was like February 22nd, after the Saturday slate of games, I saw BYU was still 25-1 on FanDuel to win a Final Four. So obviously, instead of going 80-1 for them to win the entire thing, you're getting a better value at 25-1 for them to make the Final Four. And especially if you are making these flyer picks, and please do so responsibly, of course, and seek help if you need it. But if you are taking these flyers, just putting a shekel here and there on some of these high ceiling potentials, Obviously, even if it's before the tournament begins, you'd want to prefer picking a Final Four pick over a national championship pick. I've actually been stuck with some national championship tickets in my pocket for a team that took a Cinderella run to making the Final Four. So you don't want to make the Final Four and not be able to cash in. So again, in this situation, BYU on FanDuel 25-1 to win it, to enter the Final Four. That's a great value. And I'm also taking a look at PropSwap right now. My portfolio at PropSwap right now includes a couple recent purchases for BYU, St. Mary's, and Texas A&M.
If you are watching this video in a state where sports betting is still illegal, there's somewhat of a loophole where you can still buy a futures ticket. A popular secondary market called PropSwap is an exchange of buyers and sellers looking to invest in a future or hedge their bets. Either way, a physical ticket is part of the transaction, which makes it a property that you can sell. Look for links in the description to see what tickets I am reselling on PropSwap.
Let's talk about St. Mary's. This is a team that can win ugly. It can win up and down. It can definitely control the tempo of a game. It's a very senior-laden team. A lot of veterans, a lot of size. Definitely an identity in terms of slowing you down, playing the style that they want to. They play a grown man style of ball. But Mikey Lewis is a guy who is a freshman, highly touted, highly ranked high school player coming out of California, and he is really just kind of like a Energizer bunny, and throw out the token microwave reference for how many buckets he can get off of the bench. He had an unbelievable showing at Gonzaga to wrap up the WAC regular season championship for the St. Mary's Gales. So this is a team that looks a little bit different than your ordinary St. Mary's Gales teams. I feel like this program has been in the running as a potential surprise pick in March Madness for several years running. This might just be the year for them, especially if they might have earned a 4 seed or a 5 seed. I would always want to avoid a 6 seed. A 6 seed, again, has not made the Final Four since the Fab Five back in 1993. So that unlucky streak just continues to grow. Let's take a look at some even higher shots, even some longer shots, I should say. Underdogs to win a title. Yale is a team that you might be able to find at 500-1 or some ridiculous number like that, but right now they're beating up on the Ivy League. They're dominating. Yes, they lost Danny Wolf, who's a 7-footer, great player who went over to Michigan. That's a big loss for them, but they still have a lot of the core players from the team that upset Auburn last year. So even though this Yale team lost Danny Wolf from last season, they bring in a lot of seniors and a lot of continuity from last season, including their primary ball handlers, Bez Meng and John Polakaitis. You might remember Polakaitis hitting a fall-away jumper on the baseline to really get back into the game against Auburn and to upset Auburn as a 13 seed against a 4 last year. And that was an Auburn team very similar to this year's team. So that's a high quality win. This is a very similar team. Yale is another team on my list of great future value picks, underdogs that are very dangerous, that can shoot the 3-point jump shot. So look out for the Yale Bulldogs.
Here at collegebasketballeyetest.com, we continue to watch for news that will help you win your bracket. Look for links in the description for top articles about injury news, teams on the rise, and fun human interest stories like which sons of NBA players are hooping in this year's March Madness.
So we're going to end it here for now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Matty D with collegebasketballeyetest.com. Check us out on the blog, on WordPress, also on YouTube and on Twitter at CBBEyeTest. Take a look at the blog for some additional picks that I may have in that top 5 or a honorable mention on that list. Remember to bet responsibly. Let me know what teams you think are a great value at this point of the season. I'll retweet any thoughts that you do have. And this is Matty D saying thanks for watching.